Hello and welcome. I'm Darren. Today we are in Forza Motorsport. Now the reason is I watched TerraWare's latest video, the one where he compares the 9070 XT to the 17900 XTX. I believe it's is it worth the upgrade, side grade, downgrade, whichever one you decide it is. And he benchmarked a few games. Now, in a couple of those games, he obviously ran into VRAM issues, obviously the 9070 XT being 16 gigabytes and the XTX being 24 gigabytes. Not uncommon, not a big deal, but I wanted to actually use that because I've obviously, people would have seen for a while, it's been discussed, it's something that you can notice when you're watching side-by-side benchmarks, but AMD GPUs tend to, in the same scenario, in the same game, use more VRAM than the equivalent NVIDIA GPUs do. So I wanted to see if the RTX 4080, also being 16 gigabytes, had the same issue that the 9070 XT does. Now, obviously, I know Terra, he doesn't happen to have, as far as I'm pretty sure he doesn't, unless I'm missing something, have a 16 gigabyte NVIDIA GPU. I believe he has the 3080 Ti, which is 12 gigabytes, and a 4090, which is 24 gigabytes. So I'm sure he won't mind me jumping on a bit of his content and actually using it myself, just to see. I mean, I could check it out myself on the 9070 XT, but I've got no reason to. I've got no reason to think that whatever he's put up isn't correct. I'm sure it is. So I can do a quick video on the 4080 and see if I run into the same issue. So we were going to go into the game settings. As I said, we're running on the RTX 4080. It is paired with 13700K. That won't make any difference. We are running at 4K. We are running with DLSS at quality. He was running with FSR at quality, I do believe. And we are running at Ultra 16 times, full RT, everything is Ultra. I believe he did have other things on, like the mirror quality was on Ultra and showing, and then he had the motion blur on high, in cockpit on, and the lens flare quality. So I think it was just a case of everything was on and it was as high as whatever it can possibly go. So let's get into a race and let's check it out. We will quick set up a free play. I don't know what car. I think he was in an MX. I don't know. It might be in an MX. I can't remember. I'm not sure what car he's in. That's not going to make any difference. I don't believe if I choose a different car, I'm going to get a different outcome. So we'll go in the Screamer. I believe he was on Brands Hatch. I don't know if it's the Grand Prix circuit, but we'll use that anyway. We'll go at noon. We'll go at partly cloudy. We'll throw in a few laps so that we can get a good average. And we'll go with that. I would like to accept those options. Thank you. So, I am on controller. I'm on chase cam. The same as what he was. I can't drive controller. I can't drive chase cam. You're going to have to... I'm going to apologise now for what is about to happen. I'm going to drop the volume down a little bit because race games can get a little bit feisty. So, yeah, we'll get into the race and we will check it out and we will see how it is going. If I can get my controller to now come back to life. No, I can't. Let's go. Come on. I've used the mouse and now my controller has disconnected. So, as you can see, what we didn't get, which he got off the bat, was we don't get the out of VRAM warning. So that's obviously an instant difference that this GPU is not having, both 16 gigabytes. So that's interesting. I have I'm making it sound like I don't know this. I do. No! Because I have already done a race whilst I wasn't doing any screen capturing or recording, so I know that there's no issue on this one. The screen capturing does add a bit of a load, so we do get a little bit more of a... Those little frame time spikes, we do get that a little bit more now that we're running an internal capture. The only way that I'm going to ever get around that is to buy myself a capture card and run another computer, which I might do. I'll wait and see. How much money I want to spend is... I don't know. There's only so much money you want to spend on making content when it's kind of throwing money down a drain, if that kind of makes sense. So we are adding some load to the system by running an internal capture, obviously at 4K with ray tracing and everything already enabled. But I mean, as you can see, we're not having a VRAM issue, so we're running pretty good. We'll do a few laps, and then we will probably try... Sorry. We will probably try, because I believe he had... Oh, there was a big start then. I wonder what that was. Something made it nasty. I don't believe I got any of those when I wasn't screen capturing. We'll go back around and see if it happens again. It does happen. I mean, it's not uncommon. Racing games tend to be when you go past the pit lane. If you're going to get stutters in a racing game, it tends to be when you go past a pit lane. Like, when I was running Evo the other day on the 9070 XT, it was in the exact same place every time. Like, going under that bridge would cause a big stutter. Going through a certain corner, every single lap would do the same thing, so... We'll see what that does when we go back round, but you can see, like, we're around about... What are we averaging? About 7... You son of a... We're averaging around 70, we're averaging around 60 on the 1% low, so... We're fine. We definitely do not have a VRAM issue, and obviously we didn't get the pop-up warning saying that we are having a VRAM issue. I'm going to try and get a decent lap in, because I'm nearly last. I don't know. I can't race like this. I don't know how people do. It's incredible. Watching people race on controller and chase cam is something beautiful. So no, we didn't get the same huge stutter that we got last time coming around to the same place, so... Maybe it was a shader thing, who knows. Maybe it's just the system having that freak out because I'm screen capturing. Might have just been a lot of cars doing something on track all at the same time. Because we just got one... kind of one there, I suppose. Not that bad. It's probably that fucking helicopter, which really doesn't need to be in the game, let's be honest. But it is, actually. Get rid of the helicopter. No one needs it. It adds nothing. Probably draws 10 FPS. No, 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 no! Oh my god. Look at my wheels. Check that out. Awesome. Forza Motorsport. Love it. I've got black wheels that turn silver when you drive. Isn't that incredible? I can see this game still needs a lot of work. Because you can actually get your color wheels when you're in motion. So we're dead last, which is great. I think our mission now is to actually try not to be last. However, oh no, we're miles away from any other cars. And without them, I have no idea how to brake in this stupid view. I'll tell you what I might do. Before I put that 9070 XT in the new build, I might throw this in and just see what this 4080 runs like with a 7800 X3D versus the 13700K before I spend a ton of money water cooling it. But then some games are alright, so it's one of those give or take. Obviously we are losing some. Obviously it's a little bit more unstable with the screen capture. We also lose quite a bit of performance. I will make that clear. We generally lose somewhere between 6 and 10 FPS, normally around about 8. So we'd probably be about another 8 FPS if we weren't running the screen capture, which is a little bit of an annoying thing because it doesn't really, unfortunately, running like this doesn't give us a true value. So at the moment our average is 70. We'd probably be more like 78 average. Oh my god, I completely missed the corner. And then it's just like gone. There's just no way back. It's like you're in a car that weighs 36,000 tons. I should have raced bonnet cam. I can race bonnet cam on controller to a degree. That's what I used to do back in my Xbox days. But yeah, no VRAM issues. So definitely a difference there. Averaging 70, 1% lows, 60 or 59. I reckon those 1% lows would probably come up a little bit if I wasn't doing a screen capture. Well, they would. Everything would go up because we'd have more performance if I wasn't doing the screen capture, so... Shit. Game kind of looks very similar to what it did. Not great. I don't know, there's something about this Forza that just never impressed me. But it is what it is. So that's it. What did we do? We did, yeah. It's all going to drop now anyway, but I think we were averaging... I think we averaged about 59 on the 1% lows and about 70 FPS, so... Like I said, that's not a true measure of performance because we're losing performance, but what we can tell by that when we're definitely not getting a VRAM issue, and we didn't get the VRAM warning, so... That was a good one to check out. I believe he did a video with Microsoft Flight Simulator also. I can't remember which one it was. I'll quick go and check on his video and then we'll check that out as well, because I happen to have both of those games on Game Pass. I believe they're downloaded, so we'll check that out as well. But yeah, I'm not going to say I'm completely surprised. I think this is a scenario that will come up where the 16GB NVIDIA GPU will probably have a bit of an advantage if it's a close call. I think the AMD GPU on the games that are a close call is going to have that problem. I mean, he showed in his video, it's not a huge problem. You can just drop a few settings and you're good to go, and a lot of the time you don't even notice. It's not like they're huge settings. Sometimes just dropping from ultra to high or even ultra to medium isn't visibly a massive degradation. So, but it was just something that I thought was interesting, and it was something that I was able to test because I happen to have a 16GB GPU. So there we go. That was that one out of the way. We'll check out Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. I might add it to this. I might not. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Hello and welcome. I'm Darren. We are back. This time we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We are on the RTX 4080. We have the settings at 4K. We're using TAA native. I don't know why we're in that and we're not actually... What the fuck is this? Whew. Yeah, we can get into the settings screen. I don't know why. Let's... Okay, now we can. So we're at 4K, we're at TAA. We have the Ultra preset. And that's about it. So we are at Tokyo, flying in a plane. The one thing I will say is we are running the 4080, but we are running with a 13700K. This game does not work well on Intel. It's kind of the one game that is a little bit of a bummer when it comes to Intel, unfortunately. It definitely runs a lot better and a lot smoother on AMD, or certainly on the AMD CPUs. I'm going to have to try at some point on a 7800 X3D just to see how much better it performs. We can do that in the next couple of weeks. But as it goes, I don't believe on this GPU we are getting any VRAM issues. So we will bring up the overlay. As you can see, this is running with the Ultra preset, so it's all pretty good. Obviously we are losing some performance because we are doing an internal screen capture. But other than that, it's running not bad. We'd probably be an extra, I don't know, 8 FPS normally is around about what I lose. I normally lose about 8 FPS doing a screen capture. So the other one thing that we can do is, which I have tried, because obviously these aren't the settings I play. I don't normally play it at TAA native. What I will normally do is play it with DLSS, and I'll normally play it with frame generation. Frame generation does help with obviously a very CPU heavy game, and obviously the fact that we are screen capturing as well, so it definitely does help in this sort of scenario. So, but as you can see, it's running perfectly fine. We're around 40 FPS, and we've got the... Let me just reset that just to make sure, because our average FPS was a little bit on the high side then. But yeah, running all not bad, pretty good. So we're around 40 FPS. So if we weren't screen capturing, we'd definitely be around 45 FPS. And obviously the 1% lows would probably be around 35 FPS. So what we will do is we will add actually some more VRAM allocation by adding on some frame generation. So let's put on some DLSS at quality, and let's add on some frame generation. Now this will actually add, I'm sure obviously everyone knows, this will actually add more to the VRAM, because it obviously does on the video. I think everyone kind of knows that. And we will see exactly how that runs. So we've added more VRAM to it now by using frame generation, and as you can see, it's running nice and smooth and good, and we have no crazy running out of VRAM scenario. So all in all, definitely not the same problem. Obviously, like I said, it doesn't run particularly well on Intel on this game. It could definitely be helped. I don't know how much we'd get in performance, but I do believe when I've read a lot of issues of people having dodgy frame spikes and stuff like that, that this game definitely, I believe, or certainly used to, from a lot of the comments that I saw, it would run better on the X3D chips. But yeah, no VRAM issue on this one either. Now, whether it'd perform better if it had some extra bandwidth, maybe. But as far as running out, as far as allocation, I don't think there's any issue to be had here. So there we go. That's two games that we've just looked at that were obviously Terra was having an issue with on his 9070 XT, which don't appear to be having the same issue on the 16GB variant of the NVIDIA GPUs. So I'm going to leave it there. If you liked, swing me a like, I would appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next one.